Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back. It's been a long time since I've made a screencast. I feel like you guys have been doing a lot of Nearpod, and hopefully you enjoyed that the last few weeks, and were able to get through and explore some different activities. This week we are going to take our end of the year test, and I know everybody freaks out when they hear the word test. Don't worry, it's not for a grade. It will not go into your grade book. It's just a chance for me to understand what I did well, what you learned really, really well, and what are some topics that maybe that I did not do really well teaching you. So when you go to fourth grade, you will be able to learn what maybe we did not get to enough of in third grade. So it's been a while since we've done ThinkCentral. Sorry, I'm down in my basement. I have my kids locked in their room for 15 minutes so that I can actually make the house quiet enough to actually make a screencast, because teaching at home is impossible because they're running around being loud all the time. So you're going to need to use ThinkCentral. So I'm going to guide you through this, guide you through the questions. The first part should have 25 questions. The second part will have 25 questions. Don't do them both in the same day. Obviously, we have Tuesdays and Fridays to do our math. So just do the first 25 questions, submit it, and we'll go through. So as always, remember, I want to read the question, try to explain it to you. Press pause, do the work, and then when you're done, you can kind of hit it if you need to guide it through. You can kind of pull up two tabs if you need to. Have this tab open on one, have the test open on another, and you kind of go back and forth. That would be the easiest way to do it. So just open up the screencast as a tab and also have the test up as another tab, because you're not going to be able to see both unless you have two computers, which you don't need because you can just use two tabs. All right, so getting back into ThinkCentral, some of you may not even remember how to do that. So obviously I went to ThinkCentral. We click on the Math tab. We click on the Sky Go Math. And this is where it goes into, it saves mine automatically, but it might not. So remember, I have to go to United States. So that's Northern Marina Islands. We don't want that. I'm going to go to Ohio. My shortcut is type in Wood pretty fast. It takes the Woodmore. We are Woodmore Elementary. And I'm going to sign in as Oscar because I know he's not going to take the test with us. So your password, your username is 29. I'm going to use O for Oscar's first initial. Then his last name, Garcia, is the rest. His password, and your password is the same, is going to be 29. Your first initial, so O for Oscar, G for Garcia, and then you got to remember, ThinkCentral is a period. Once you do that, click Login. It takes you to your dashboard. All right. And then if you click on Things to Do, you should have two parts in your assignments. End of the year test 1, or part 1, end of the year test part 2. Click on that. It'll give it to you again. I have no reason why. I have no clue why they do this, but they do. Click on that again. I'm hoping this shows up in your screen. We'll find out. And you click Start. I'm going to maximize this. And that should show up in your test. Now, your test may not look exactly like this. I hope it does. I'll probably try a couple of you to make sure it is. But it'll be something very, very similar to this. But I think it should be the same exact question as Oscar has. But it may not. So I'm going to go on and make this and then kind of check it up. I'll log in as one or two of you guys and see how it goes. So hopefully this is what yours looks like. Enter the number of sides and the number of angles. Then select the name of the polygon. So here, first box is how many sides, how many angles. Then click that drop down menu and you'll have 4 options of what it is: quadrilateral, pentagon, octagon, or decagon. So obviously I'm going to keep going. You're going to have to press pause on this, click the tab that has the test open, and then come back to that. Most of you can probably understand how to do that. If not, ask your parents, how can I get 2 tabs open? One tab will be the test, one tab will be the screencast. And I probably should have started by showing that, but I think you guys are pretty good at 2 tabs. Because a lot of you guys are having YouTube on, listen to music while you're doing work when you're not supposed to in class. Question number 2. Which of the following words describe the polygon? Rectangle, square, rhombus, quadrilateral. And I can't say this enough. I'm going to keep going. It's going to be your job to press pause, go answer it, and come back. Because I only have 15 minutes, and I don't want to break this into two different parts. So my goal is just to read the questions, kind of go over it with you, and then you're going to do the work on your own. If you don't need me to read the questions for you, you don't need the screencast. You can just hop into ThinkCentral and go. All right? Don't feel as if you need me to slow you down. Number 3, select all or some to complete the sentence. All quadrilaterals are polygons. Some quadrilaterals are polygons. So choose which one of those makes the most sense. Number 4, Jackie drew the shape below. She said it was a rectangle because it has 2 pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. Complete the explanation of her error. So obviously that means she's wrong. There's all kinds of stuff down here, okay? So let's kind of go through it. Gotta think. A rectangle has blank pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. So how many pairs of opposite sides are parallel in a rectangle? Blank pairs, sides of equal length, and blank right angles. Then you have to answer, this shape is a pentagon, triangle, or hexagon. So you're thinking about the rectangle properties. All right. First one is how many pairs of opposite sides does a rectangle have? How many pairs of sides of equal length? And how many right angles? And then figure out what the shape is. Enter the time. Select one way you can read the time. So right here, you got to read the time. All right, so you would put, this is not correct. I think it's 2:30. So I type a 2 and then a 30 in there. All right, and I can read the time as 27 or 28 minutes before or after 5 or 6. So they're asking you for 2 different parts. They're asking you to actually write the time and then think of another way that you can say that time. That was one of our standards, to be able to read the clock and then tell it in a different way. Number 6, Patty went shopping at the mall at 11:30. She shopped for 25 minutes. She spent 35 minutes eating lunch. Then she met a friend at a movie. At what time did Patty meet her friend? This is our elapsed time problem. All right, so we used the jumps. So maybe you need a piece of scrap paper. Press pause, get a piece of scrap paper. We had to think about, we always worked on starting time or ending time, and then we made jumps in between. All right, so you know she went to the mall at 11:30. She shopped for 25 minutes. And then she spent 35 minutes eating lunch. Then she met a friend for a movie. At what time did she meet her friend? All right, so you enter the time. Remember, AM is morning up until noon. PM starts at 12:01, the minute after noon, and goes to midnight. So AM's kind of the morning, PM's kind of the afternoon or night. All right. Number 7, Rosario pours juice into 4 bottles that are the same size. Which bottle has the least amount of juice? So look there. 4 options. Which one has the least amount of juice? All right. Scroll down here. 2 classes from Delia School visited the Science Center. They recorded their favorite exhibit in the tally table. All right. So up here is a tally table. And they got to figure out which one of these is the correct graph. Only one is the correct graph. So you got to pay attention to the key. The key, each one has a key. So in the A, the key is 4 votes. B, the key is 2 votes. C, the key is 4. And D, the key is 4. So think about that. So if this is 4 for A, does the nature information match up with the nature information up here? Does the solar system match with the solar system? Only one of these graphs matches with the tally chart. So it's your job to kind of go through and eliminate them, which ones don't match up, and only one of them actually does. We've worked on that a lot this year, trying to pick that correct graph. Use the favorite way to, okay, another bar graph. Which activity receives 7 fewer votes than soccer? So find soccer. Which one was 7 fewer? All right, I got about 5 minutes left. All right, so I might run out of time on this. All right, so I want to remember, always keep pressing pause, do the answer, and then come back to it. So, there's no way I'm probably going to finish this in 5 minutes. Lydia and Joey did an experiment with a spinner. Lydia recorded the result of each spin in the table below. Use the data in the table to, same thing. So we have a tally chart. This one's a lot bigger. A tally chart, and only one of these shows the correct data. So you got to choose the correct one. Which one shows the correct data? Number 11, we're in our graphing part of the test, obviously. Use the spinner results in the bar graph to solve the problem. How many fewer times did the pointer stop on blue than on red and green combined? How many fewer times on blue than red and green combined? Number 12, multiplication sentence. Blank times 6 equals So what is the multiplication fact shown in that one? Times 6 equals Make equal groups. Complete the table. 20 counters, 4 equal groups, there would be 5 in each group. If there were 18 counters divided into 3 groups, how many would it be? So you're really saying 18 divided by 3 is what? Use division to help you solve. There are 18 matching socks. How many pairs of socks can you make? All right. Think about how many are in a pair. 18 matching socks. How many pairs can you make? Mr. Bloom grows vegetables in his garden. Complete the multiplication sentence to show how many corn plants. So corn has 5 rows of 7. What's the multiplication sentence and answer? The table tells the quilt pieces Jenna has made. How many squares are there in 9 of Jenna's quilt pieces? All right. This is a little bit trickier. All right. How many squares are there in 9 of Jenna's? So in a square, she uses 6 quilt pieces. All right. So if she makes 9 of those, what's the total going to be? Find the unknown. The unknown is m. So unknown divided by 8 equals 7. What divided by 8 equals 7? Testing our math facts there. Enter a multiplication sentence for the model. Then use the commutative property of multiplication to enter a related multiplication sentence. Use the format rows times tiles per row equals product. All right, so the first one as a multiplication sentence is 3 times equals So 3 rows times how many in each row was the total. And then think, what's the other multiplication in the fact family? That's all you're doing there is fact families. Which model shows how you could break apart a 6x7 array into 2 smaller arrays? Select all that apply. And then find the product. Alright, so which ones show 6x7 that can be broken down into two parts? And then find the product. Alright, I'm running out of time, so this is going to be part 1. I'm going to end this, and then the last part I'm going to go over the last 5 questions and show you how to submit it. Alright? So I'm going to email you both parts.